my people. Atiku say he don't go Sambisa Forest. He say that place na dry place. Say when be custom, na then they patrol. It's not a place na dry place. In the surprise, the soldiers no fit overcome Boko Haram. In Zito say he don't beg Wike 5 times. Wike no agree accept am. So more I listen. I beg more I share the video, comment and like.
Brought out the iPod issue in the southeast. The iPod issue in the southeast is basically, as far as my understanding is concerned, is about the realization of Biafra. Is it possible for Biafra to be realized today? How? By negotiations or by going through another civil war, which we can't afford to? So I believe we should be able to negotiate with the agitators from the southeast as far as the issue of Biafra is concerned. We believe what they need is more autonomy as far as their sub-region is concerned. That is why we propose restructuring of the country, by which we mean devolution of more powers and resources. After all, there was Eastern Nigeria in the First Republic, and they developed at their own pace and with their own resources. So I see no reason why a middle-of-the-road solution, in other words, restructuring, devolution of more powers and resources, should not be a solution to their various agitations. The agitations are in different perspectives, to my understanding. One of it is political. And political has the sense of how does the Southeast, participate in power sharing in the country. And we are in a democratic society. There is no one single geopolitical, zone in this country that on its own can achieve political power without crossing the Niger or being in alliance with other geopolitical zones. I think this is what they should begin to think. Okay, how do they partner with other parts of the country to secure political power, for their own interests or to protect their own interests? I think these are the way to go as far as the agitations for iPod is concerned. I don't know whether my running mate has something to add, being also from almost about our neighbors, to the southeast.
The elections. And so earlier, before we went on break, I'll create just a few minutes more for security questions. There are these specific questions from the social media that I'd like you to deal with. And this is coming from Della Wise. He's on Twitter and he's asking, first to you, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, he says, what is Atiku's position about Boko Haram? And to Senator Okowa, he said, what is your position about militancy should they arise again? Just about a minute for each of those responses.
I still cannot understand why we should have Boko Haram. You see, I served in Borno State when it was the Northeast. And as a custom officer, I was patrolling the entire Northeast. So I'm very, very conversant with the vegetation and with the border areas. I still cannot find a place in the Borno area where anybody can hide and cannot be seen. I cannot understand, honestly, the Boko Haram phenomenon. Sometimes when returning from Europe, 30 feet above, I could see a man walking in Borno State. So where is the place to hide? To the extent that they said there is a place called Zambisa. I've been there. I didn't see a forest. It's just shrubs here and there. So, and we have deployed the Nigerian military, which used to be the best, one of the best in the world. They have fought a number of international arena, and they have excelled. And here we are deploying the Nigerian military with its might and everything, and we just couldn't, eliminate Boko Haram. So I am puzzled. So maybe when I get there, I will understand, but honestly, I cannot understand the Boko Haram phenomenon.
Do you think that is politically motivated?
Everything is there. Everything is there. Shown, everything is there. Politics is there. Business is there. Security, everything is there.
Is there a solution to it?
Of course, the solution is leadership, strong leadership, to deal with all these interest groups within the military and outside the military. Because, of course, at the end of the day, anyway, when I didn't win and handed over the recommendations to late Umaru Yar'Adua, and that led to the establishment of the policies as far as Niger Delta crisis is concerned, particularly the amnesty. The creation of the Niger Delta Ministry was one of the recommendations I handed over to him. But then...
Your Excellency, sir, it is no more news that Christian minorities in the North have been crying persecution, occasioned by systemic dissemination of their communities and a subtle marginalization. We also know that in your capacity as former Vice President, you have earned a voice in the Project Nigerian. So what have you done in the face of violence and persecution against Christians in the North? Nevertheless, for the purpose of this meeting, when you become president, how do you hope to fix this? And also in the face of the disunity and polarization currently prevalent in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you. Mark. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, not a tough one, because all religions are being persecuted, as far as I'm concerned, in this country. It all depends on where you find yourselves. I know of very minority religious sects that are also being discriminated against. But what we should be able to do is to make sure that religious discrimination should specifically be dealt with, by the government wherever it is found. But you find that most of these, again, are the responsibilities of the sub-regional, governments, whether the state governments or the local governments. Everybody tend to leave everything for the federal government, which I believe should not be the case. But maybe by the time we decentralize the security architecture of this country and we give states responsibility, we give local government responsibility, they should be able to deal with these local issues which are far, far away, from the federal government.
From those who are sending in the questions online, and this one is coming on Twitter from Eziafa Amaka. He said, my question to Atiku, why did he delete the tweet condemning the murder of Deborah? And similar one, Matthew Tam Atigere at Real Matati says, I want to ask Atiku why he has failed to condemn the killing of Deborah in Sokoto and if he can condemn it. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I have been asked this question several times. And all what I said, I asked the tweet to be deleted because I normally approve every tweet. So since I didn't approve it, I said delete it. And if you read my subsequent statements on that matter, I condemned it. I condemned it. There is nowhere where it is said or it is as an injunction in the Islamic faith that you can go and take somebody's life. Nowhere. It has to be through due process.
This one is on Instagram, and the Instagrammers are very much controversial people too in their engagement. This one is coming from Tunde Abubakar at Adesh Shirayo. He says, my question goes to His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Based on what we the masses hear from both parties, why is it so difficult for him as an individual to meet Wike personally and sort things out with his wealth of experience?
I have met Wike 2 times in Port Harcourt, 2 times in Abuja, 1 time in London, personally.
So he was asking, why is it difficult to sort things out with your wealth of experience?
It's not on my part.
So he's on the other side?
Yeah, he's on the other side.
So you're waiting for him?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Indeed.